Go. According to an article by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there have been 22 recorded deaths inside of a warehouse in the year of 2017. As someone who works at a fair environment warehouse, I can say that I know how hard it can be to work that job for a living. Due to wages, injury and sickness concerns, a heavy workload, and human rights issues, along with the lack of open-mindedness from the corporate leaders of this industry like Amazon, the warehouse industry has turned into one of the more dangerous and problematic industries in the United States. People who work in warehouses usually find themselves struggling because because a lot of their money is on a paycheck to paycheck basis. So that's why they find themselves having to take up a side hustle to keep up with the high cost of living so they can survive. And there's a large segment of the warehouse population that is contains old men and old women who are working past the age of retirement because they aren't able to save up enough money for retirement because, like I said, they're working on a paycheck to paycheck basis. So it makes it hard for them to save up money for the future. The warehouse industry is notoriously known for leading the United States in deaths amongst blue collar jobs, and that's because you have human beings working with these large and heavy machinery and objects, and when you have human beings who are going to make mistakes, working those things, I mean, that's the result you're going to have. When it comes to sickness, people in the warehouse feel sort of obligated to sort of come into work sick and sort of push through their sickness so they can make their paycheck for that day. But they must be careful to always wear a germ mask around their face so that way germs and sicknesses can't spread around in the warehouse, because you'd be surprised how quickly an illness can spread inside those things. The warehouse industry is one of the more demanding industries in the country. So when you're working full time and it's summertime and the warehouse doesn't have any air conditioning, the workload can be pretty overwhelming. There are managers who might ask you to work possibly 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. And so when you have a schedule like that, it kind of makes it hard for you to oblige your other responsibilities in your life. It makes it hard to have a life outside of work where there's school, there's family, your social life, your love life, etc., your hobbies, stuff like that. So when you have those things up against you, it just makes it hard for you to really live your life. And now for human rights, not all warehouses have human rights issues, but there are a lot of warehouses who really struggle with showing their employees the proper respect and grace and gratefulness for their efforts that they put in for their job. A lot of management teams show very little regard for the workers' personal life, and they ultimately put work above everything else. And just like as is for a lot of industries around the globe, women in the warehouse are targets for catcalling and sexual harassment. Now, let's talk about Amazon. Amazon is widely known for being able to ship out packages to their customers in a quick and timely fashion. But what you don't know about Amazon is that they are able to perform at such an efficient rate because of how they're able to squeeze and milk out the juices out of their employees. It is fair to say that Amazon treats their employees like machines, kind of like robots, because of the work practices that they use, such as monitoring where their workers are in the warehouse, counting how many steps that person's taking each day to see if he's being productive or not, timing just how fast you can get from one side of the warehouse to the other side of the warehouse to receive a package. And if you don't make it fast enough, they're going to send someone over there to come and talk to you, and give you and pretty much just scold you. Now, Amazon's founder and CEO Jeff Bezos currently holds the title of world's richest man in the world with a current net worth of $108 billion. Unfortunately, Mr. Bezos shows very little interest in investing his money towards making positive modifications to ensure workplace safety that would set trends for a lot of other warehouse companies like Walmart and Office Depot and Target and Lowe's and all those other places that could really make a huge change inside of the industry for not just Amazon but all companies as well. But Mr. Bezos has instead is interested in investing his money in personal endeavors such as space travel. Now, working at a warehouse isn't all bad despite the points I just brought up. If you are someone who enjoys logistics or just an honest day's hard work, I'm sure that you can go into the warehouse and make a profitable and enjoyable career out of it. It is just very important to know how to keep yourself and others safe from disaster. And you can do that just by simply knowing how to operate your forklift, how to charge your forklift, how to work the loading docks, how to properly stack a pallet, and how to work around a running conveyor belt. Thank you.